After Giannis placed full trust in his agent Alex and signed what he believed was a routine deal, he did not know that Alex had hidden deep inside the agreement and had quietly siphoned millions from his earnings. And once the numbers finally came into his knowledge, the fallout was ruthless. And Giannis fired his agent Alex Saratsis on the spot, cut all communication, and sparked explosive questions about whether the person meant to protect him had been stealing from him all along. Alex Saratsis joined Octagon in 2009 and is widely credited with building the agency's international clout. He's represented Giannis since the beginning, guiding him through rookie contract negotiations, the Supermax extension, and every major decision of his career. They share Greek heritage, and Saratsis built his reputation on understanding European players navigating the NBA.
My relationship with Giannis is unique. We're from the same country, we're from the same city, and I think when he came here to the US, I was his only outlet for the first 6 months. And that really developed a bond that is very, very difficult to break. Giannis and I are at the point now where it's almost non-verbal. I can tell without him even saying anything in Greek to me what he's thinking. Because when we'd be in meetings or we'd be talking with teams, he could easily turn to me and tell me something in Greek that he didn't want anybody else to know.
But none of that matters anymore when your client wants out and you can't make it happen. Abbott wrote in his Substack that Giannis was alarmed by Saratsis' failure to gain traction toward a trade.
There were two topics really, right? One topic is Rich Paul really going to represent Giannis? And on that one, they were divided, right? Everyone agrees that Rich Paul has been talking to Giannis's brother, Thanasis. Is that meaningful or not? No one agrees.
Multiple NBA sources believe there's a real chance Antetokounmpo gets a new agent soon, and that move would almost certainly accelerate trade speculation. Abbott made the subtext clear. This is about getting out of Milwaukee. The timing reveals everything. Giannis didn't threaten to fire Saratsis when the Bucks were winning. He didn't question his agent's ability when Milwaukee looked like title contenders. This crisis erupted when Giannis realized the Bucks can't compete anymore, and Saratsis couldn't find him an exit. While Saratsis struggles, Rich Paul sees opportunity.
Rich Paul has been talking not just to Giannis, but also to his brother, per @TrueHoop. Rich is said to have been making the case that he's the guy who can get a star player where he wants to go.
The Clutch Sports CEO has been in contact with Anasis Antetokounmpo, Giannis's brother and former teammate. Paul positioned himself as the agent capable of getting a superstar where he wants to go, and his track record backs it up. Paul facilitated Anthony Davis's trade to the Lakers, LeBron James's multiple team changes, and built Clutch into the most powerful agency in basketball. The agent dynamics tie directly to the Golden State Warriors. Giannis is represented by Saratsis through Octagon. Stephen Curry is also represented by Octagon, with Jeff Austin serving as Curry's longtime agent. Meanwhile, Draymond Green is represented by Rich Paul.
And this tweet right here from Draymond Green: why does hiring Rich Paul has to be viewed as a move to be traded? Why isn't it simply the truth, which is Rich is the best in the business? At some point, the disrespect in this industry must stop.
If Paul successfully steals Giannis from Saratsis, he suddenly has two Warrior stars in his stable and massive leverage to push Giannis toward Golden State.
And so if Rich Paul is trying to get the services of Giannis Antetokounmpo on his client list, that also means a huge potential payday for Rich Paul. For those who don't know, agent fees are around 3% on new contracts orchestrated by that agent. And you're looking at Giannis Antetokounmpo, who is in line to sign a 4-year, $275 million contract extension this offseason, so in October.
Heavy reported this agent drama draws the Warriors directly into trade intrigue. The Warriors can offer up to 4 first-round picks, along with Jonathan Kuminga, Brandon Podziemski, Moses Moody, and expiring contracts that provide salary cap relief. League executives view Golden State's package as competitive in any superstar sweepstakes. If Rich Paul becomes Giannis's agent, suddenly the pathway to the Warriors becomes clear. January 2025, the NBPA revised agent switching rules, reducing the waiting period from 15 days to 7 days.
Player cannot switch agents and then have the new agent take over for at least 7 days. There's a 7-day waiting period.
That change seemed insignificant at the time. Now it's the most important rule in the NBA. Giannis can fire Saratsis, hire Rich Paul, and have his new agent making calls to teams within a week. The February 5th trade deadline looms.
So there is a clock here that basically over the next 24 to 48 hours, if Giannis Antetokounmpo wants to switch agents and have that agent help him on his next trade destination before the trade deadline, It has to happen in the next 24 to 48 hours. And this is really good reporting from Henry Abbott, who talked to the Players Union. And in fact, Giannis Antetokounmpo is still represented by his current agent, not Rich Paul. But if he does want to make a switch and have the full maximum power of your agent to be at the levers, pushing the buttons, it will have to happen in the next 24 to 48 hours ahead of the trade deadline.
If Giannis fires Saratsis this week and hires Rich Paul immediately, the new agent has days to work phones and force Milwaukee's hand. Even if no trade happens by the deadline, the message gets sent to every team in the league. Giannis Antetokounmpo is available, and Rich Paul is making it happen in the summer. Abbott reported that as of late January, Antetokounmpo remains with Saratsis, but the relationship is hanging by a thread. Multiple NBA sources told Abbott there's genuine belief Giannis could switch agents any day, and once that happens, the Bucks lose all control of the narrative. NBA insider Jake Fisher reported the Warriors are expected to explore two seismic offseason paths.
Because there's still a lot to unpack with this debate over whether or not Milwaukee should do this now or this summer. So again, if the Bucks wait until this summer, they're going to have a greater asset pool. Again, keeping it with Miami, keeping it with New York. The Heat and the Knicks will both gain access to 2 more draft picks this summer.
First, positioning themselves in any potential trade market for Antetokounmpo if he becomes available. Second, revisiting the long-rumored idea of pairing LeBron James with Curry once LeBron becomes an unrestricted free agent June 30th. Fisher wrote in the Stein line that sources say the Warriors naturally plan to feature prominently in the trade mix for Milwaukee's Antetokounmpo if he truly becomes available via trade this offseason.
There are positives and negatives both for Milwaukee to move Giannis before February 5th, a week from tomorrow, or wait till this summer. It's complicated. It is not exactly a straight line scenario, and it's not exactly a better situation to do it this summer than there is to do it right now.
The Warriors have the assets, the championship infrastructure, and now potentially the agent connection if Rich Paul takes over representation. Golden State's asset base combined with Curry's presence helps explain why the Warriors are widely viewed as a team preparing for a major offseason swing, but that swing only happens if Giannis changes agents and forces Milwaukee to trade him. That's why the Saratsis firing isn't just about an agent failing his client, it's about reshaping the entire NBA landscape. Publicly, Giannis and the Bucks continue projecting stability. Even after suffering a calf injury expected to sideline him 4 to 6 weeks, Antetokounmpo spoke about competing for the playoffs in Milwaukee. The Bucks organization insists nothing has changed, but nobody believes them. Abbott framed the situation as a familiar NBA standoff where both sides maintain appearances while preparing privately for separation.
Well, he's in a tricky situation because it's like Dame Lillard leaving Portland where the divorce was certain long before anyone was willing to talk about it publicly, right? And so no one's willing to go first. No one's willing to James Harden it up and say, I'm tired of this crap, right? So, and Milwaukee's gone to a lot of trouble. They're 2.5 years into kind of Hail Marys, right? They tried Miles Turner, and then the year before that, Damian Lillard to start. And so I think there was, genuine curiosity on Giannis's part. Could that work? Were they right?
Behind the scenes, skepticism dominates. Mark Stein reported multiple teams remain engaged monitoring Milwaukee's posture. Anscape analyst Mark J. Spears said on NBA Today he believes Giannis has already played his last game in a Bucks uniform.
Like, at this point, Giannis is wearing out his welcome, and on the other hand, the Bucks are just holding on for what? When you could trade this guy and get back with everything and more.
And if Abbott's reporting proves accurate, the first signal won't come via a trade call. It'll come through a change of representation. The moment Giannis fires Alex Saratsis and hires Rich Paul, every team executive in the NBA will understand what's happening. Milwaukee's superstar is forcing his way out, and the agent who couldn't make it happen got replaced by the one who specializes in exactly that. Drop a comment with where you think Giannis ends up if he switches to Rich Paul. Warriors? Lakers? And do you think Saratsis deserved to get fired for failing to execute the